How's it going, guys? This is my kind of in-depth review for the Even Realities G1 smart glasses. Now, they arrived today, and you'd probably be thinking, why are you doing an in-depth review if you've only had them for a day? Um, but trust me when I say I've literally spent the last like month every single day doing research on these, so I basically knew everything about them before I even got them. And experiencing them firsthand kind of just set things in stone for me in terms of my experience and what I can say for sure and things that may have differed from what I've seen online. So this is kind of what that video is about, and also just going over what I dislike, things that I feel like could improve, primarily through software, and then the things that I like, in that order. So we'll start off with the bad things first. Um, and as you can tell, I'm using the teleprompter as I do this. But the first thing is that I've mentioned this on my previous video, but the display brightness can be inconsistent between both eyes if it's not like adjusted on your head perfectly. So what I mean by that is one eye may be shifted a little bit, so the edge of the screen kind of becomes dimmer compared to the right eye. So it almost creates this like one eye open, one eye closed effect where only one eye can really see a portion of the screen, and it's just really weird. So I think that it just takes some time to get used to. Um, kind of, I don't know. Sorry, my teleprompter just turned off. Here, one second. So, um, yeah, it can be inconsistent if not adjusted perfectly. Um, The second thing I wanted to talk about is the field of view, at least for my personal experience, right? The field of view is limited in terms of like the actual frame compared to some other frames that, are thinner. Like, for example, my other glasses, thin metal frames, bigger lenses. So I'm very much used to something like this. And these frames have given me kind of a bit of a tunnel vision effect. So what I mean by that is like it's just thick plastic. Well, not plastic, but I guess it's magnesium all around. But it's just hard to see your surroundings a little bit more, and it gives you this tunnel vision. You can see outside of the lens, which almost I feel like is okay, but I just figured I'd point that out. Um, and let's see. Yeah, I feel like a solution to something like that would have been really nice to choose a different size. So you could have a bigger lens. I don't feel like that would be impactful to the technology aspect. You could just have bigger frames for someone who would prefer that. And then you can have these smaller options if someone so chooses. Um, the next thing would be a battery indicator. I feel like that would be really nice. Let's see. I feel like this skipped over something. Give me a minute. So sorry for these intermittent cuts. I'm having to use my phone to record because I don't have a decent webcam, and the teleprompter is not absolutely perfect. I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, what I was saying is a feature that I would really appreciate is the battery indicator. So, someone else has mentioned that the battery indicator does display if the battery level is at or below 20%. Um, and I feel like if it does at any point, it should just be on all the time just to display the battery life. Because otherwise, you'd have to go into the app and then you would see the percentage of battery. Um, and that's about it for the bad things. Surprisingly, that's really not a whole lot. And it's mostly just nitpicks at that point. So I'll go into the things to improve. The first thing is something I'm currently still encountering, and I've noticed a few other people have encountered this on Reddit. Translate Pro did not activate for me right away, even though I did have a pre-order. Um, and so that's just been something I've had to contact support about. They have yet to get back to me on it. But having it right out of the box would have been really nice for it to just know. Um, Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it on that. I haven't used Translate just yet, but yeah. Also, my second thing to improve, I would say, would be navigation. Now, not in the way that you would expect. I actually experienced a bug in the navigation where it would display a map on the left eye while it was navigating, and then on the right eye, it would still say that it was loading the route. So it was this conflicting image between both eyes. Um, and it was really weird and uncomfortable. And I just feel like that was kind of strange that it loaded on one eye and then it didn't on the other. But I feel like that's definitely just a software thing that they could fix. The third thing is with notifications. So immediately dismissing the notifications. Um, they would kind of just disappear. You couldn't go back to read them. And they would, it would be nice if I could go back and see the notifications once I've already tapped through it if I didn't read it all. They would also go back from newest to oldest when I would prefer to read them from oldest to newest in, chronological order. So that's just something that is a personal preference for me. Um, let's see. I feel like having the ability to activate features of the glasses directly from the buttons or however directly from them, I feel like that would be the best way to handle things aside from just relying on the app to activate every feature. Especially with Translate, I feel like Translate would be the most um, important, um, just because if you are in a pinch and you need some kind of translation, you just want to like press a button and then it's on. Like you just have a hotkey or however you want to do it, rather than fiddling with the app. Because I feel like at that point you could just open up Google Translate and then have two-way conversation from the app. Um, so that's pretty much the last of what I feel like could improve. Now on to the good things. So the first good thing I want to mention is kind of how the technology integrates with the glasses themselves. Now, no one's really seen these and like really gave me weird looks while I was out in public. And I feel like that's something that is really playing to the strengths of these glasses. They don't look like they have a screen in them, unless if I tell someone that they have it in there, they probably wouldn't believe me. And I think that's, yeah, they wouldn't think that, there's some kind of technology in here. So props to Even Realities for focusing on design first, whereas other smart glasses are so obviously smart glasses, they might as well be VR headsets. Um, so yeah, the second thing is also to do with the screen. I feel like it does a really good job at integrating with the world around you. It's not obtrusive, it's not in your face, and it doesn't make me nauseous or dizzy or anything to use because it's just a little portion of your field of vision. It's just a small portion, which I think is really nice. I think they really nailed it with that one. Third thing I feel like is really good is the battery life. And even though it actually arrived at my house at 50%, I think it was like 50, 53 maybe. It's been able to last me all day with pretty heavy usage, mind you. I've been using these pretty much constantly since about 11 a.m. when they arrived this morning, and it's at, let's see, it's 6:46 p.m. So Yeah, it's been pretty good. And I can imagine that, using it normally without so much heavy use, it would last even longer. So um, I feel like they did a really good job with the battery life. This is one of those products that I feel like would be really inefficient in terms of that, where you'd have to charge it possibly multiple times a day, which would be really annoying. But that's not something you would have to worry about with these. Fourth thing I would say that they did a really good job on was the teleprompter. Now, it's really good at being able to pick up from where I leave off and detect kind of where I want to start back in my teleprompter. So, as you can tell, I think I've already mentioned this. I've been using it this whole time. Um, and if I want to just talk, it'll just pause. Like right now, it's paused. It's not jumping ahead or anything like that. Um, and it might jump ahead occasionally, actually, but uh, overall, it's pretty spot on with picking up what I'm saying and knowing where to jump in the prompt. Now, yeah, it's really good. I've actually intentionally tried to jump ahead, so I'll like be at a certain point in the prompt and then like say something that's later on, and it just knows. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, all in all, I would definitely recommend these for people who are willing to have the best and most bleeding edge of technology. And I can't remember the last time I've seen such a refined first generation product other than these. Honestly, I think it really says something about how Even Realities has put so much time and effort into the design of these glasses, and it really, really, absolutely shows. I think they've done an amazing job with the execution and overall, just like the first product of a new company with being a startup. It just blows my mind how refined these are, let alone just for a first generation product. Um, I would say for $600, or I guess if 750 if you count the prescription, um, it makes it really easy for me to recommend these, especially if you are willing to go ahead with some new, experimental technology. I wouldn't say that for the normal person, this would be, you know, the perfect product for everyone. Um, but if you are willing and you think that this would have a useful impact in your day-to-day life, it likely will. And there is a novelty to it, sure, but it's also a convenience aspect too. And something that I feel like I always want to keep in the back of my head is the time. And if I always check the watch, if I always check my watch, especially while I'm in a conversation, it can be perceived as rude, while I'm not trying to be in a rush or anything. So being able to just look up, see the time, and, and then it's not at all indicating that I have to leave or anything like that. I feel like that's just one small use case that is particular to me that I feel like could be pretty awesome because it's just so uh, unassuming. Unassuming is the word. It's so unassuming. Um, yeah. So, and not only that, but it's a great practical heads-up display, and um, there are some very practical features built in, like Translate, Teleprompter, which I'm using now, as well as Quick Note and the AI. I haven't even mentioned the AI. It's really good, guys. It's not a conversational AI like GPT, or Google Gemini, whatever. But think of it like Siri, but like really smart and not searching the web all the time. Like it just knows the answer and it tells you. So I feel like you should just treat it as such. Um, so another thing I want to mention is for those of you who are looking for kind of a replacement smartwatch, I've noticed a few people mentioning that these could be a replacement to your smartwatch. I wouldn't agree with something like that. These are complementary to the benefits and features of having a smartwatch, but I wouldn't say that these would be a replacement, because for the features that you get in a watch, those are health features. Those are, picking up calls and texts, and just some things that you just can't do with glasses quite yet. Um, and I think, activity tracking, even, you can't do this with these. Um, so if you're looking for something to replace your watch, this isn't quite it, I would say. I would wait for a next generation that would have more practical health benefits, or activity tracking, whatnot, to kind of counteract uh, the wearing a watch. Um, I would say, though, if you really are opposed to wearing a watch, you could probably pair these with like a smart ring. That's probably what I would recommend. But yeah, that's about everything that I wanted to talk about. It says your script is finished, teleprompt is done, and it just disappeared. So um, that's really about it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to share my experience with my day-to-day life wearing these. I'm going to be wearing these every day as my daily driving glasses. So um, if there's anything you want to know, please just let me know. I'll be answering the comments. I'll be in Reddit in the r/even realities subreddit. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching my review. I really appreciate you sticking around this long. Um, if you're excited as I am about these, then I know this probably was a good help to you. But if not, yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to know about. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.